Hey everyone, I'm sorry I have been away for so long. I am still sick. I'm finally starting to get better, but it's been a good 4 weeks that I've had the flu, pretty much ever since Christmas. I did want to share with you a whole bunch of drugstore, like brand new stuff that has come out, a full face. I'm wearing it all right now, and I'm going to go ahead and show you in inserts because unfortunately the very first time that I filmed this all the way through, it was a get ready with me kind of style, and I had my mic plugged into my headphone jack, so the sound was not good. I am going to put in an insert me putting on every single one of these items, and I will just explain to you what I was saying and what I think of all of these items. I really love drugstore makeup. I really like things that are affordable but good, and there has just been a whole slew of new things that got spit out lately, and so I didn't want to skip them because some of them I think are really good and some of them are maybe not so good, and you don't need to run out and grab them, in my opinion. Okay, so let's get into the full face. We'll start with a new foundation. Let's start with this new CoverGirl Simply Ageless Skin Perfector Essence. It says it's got 0.5% bakuchiol. Ah, this is right around $20. So it's not super cheap for the drugstore, but that's getting to be more the case whenever there is a new release. It's supposed to have a little bit of skincare in it. That's that bakuchiol. You can powder it down, but it does, generally speaking, leave you with sort of a glow finish underneath. It is very light, but it does offer more coverage than the Chanel. I think it's fine. It's not my favorite. It leaves you with a little bit of a sticky feel. It's fine, is kind of what I would say about it. If you really wanted to try this style where it's got like the little beads, and you can really, it's almost like little beads of color that are suspended in some sort of a serum, and that really is how it feels when you put it on. If you like that, then this might be worth trying for you. There's kind of varying thoughts as to whether the bakuchiol actually works as well as like a retinol or a retin-A. I have not seen any difference from using this, but it takes a long time. I think it's a nice thing to try and add in. It's supposed to be non-irritation. It's supposed to give you some of those effects. But from what I know, something with bakuchiol in it is not going to likely be as effective as a straight up retin-A. But if you want to give it a try, I can tell you for sure, I am off my Accutane right now. I had PRP on my foot, and whenever you're on Accutane, it really makes it harder for soft tissue to heal. And so the platelet-rich plasma, which I had put, basically my own stem cells, put into the rip. I have a tear in my fascia right next to the heel spur that I have. Really, really painful. So anyway, I went off of the Accutane so that could heal after we put stem cells in there. It's been about 5 weeks now, and I've been off of Accutane this whole time, and I have broken out. My skin is not doing near as well. You'll see it, when I'm putting stuff on, you can see I have a ginormous pimple there. It's just part of it, unfortunately for me. I will have to go back on the Accutane. We're not done, clearly. Something like this is supposed to help with aging skin, fine lines, but not cause the same kind of irritation that like a retin-A does. Retin-A I have trouble with as well. I have to really minimize how much of it I use because it does cause irritation, dryness, and just flakiness, general irritation. This shouldn't do that, but I don't know that it's going to do anything else. So, since this is $20, it's great if you like that kind of dupe for the Chanel water tint. Do you need it? Is it fantastic? It's all right. That's kind of what I think about that. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. I love concealers. I mean, concealers is that one thing that I just can't do without. If I was stranded on an island, I would need a concealer. I can do without any kind of foundation. Concealers I need. There have been a whole bunch of concealers that came out recently, and so I was very excited to try them. And so I pretty much got all of the new releases that I could find. We're going to start with this one. This is the Revlon Colorstay Flex Wear Full Cover Concealer, and I got the lightest color. Their lightest color is a little too dark for me. It's a little bit on the orange side, but I can make it work. It's not too bad. It has a little bit of a dewy finish. It reminds me the most of the new Natasha Denona concealers, but I don't think it's as good. This does crease on me. It does break up. However, I am 48. I have stopped doing any kind of fillers or Botox for just a little while. I'm giving myself a break. I had a really hard health year this year. I had surgery. I've got my foot PRP. I've been in a lot of healing and pain, and the Botox and the fillers, I just kind of wanted to let them go, just be me, reduce any extra in my life. So there's a lot more movement with my, I'm getting a lot more movement here and here, and that means a lot more crinkling right here. So things that aren't just absolutely fantastic for older skin, they're gonna show wrinkles on me right now because I don't have this Botox, which normally I would, which really does help reduce how much crinkliness is there. So I guess it's a good test to see what does and doesn't work. I would say that this one, out of the ones I'm going to mention, is one of the better ones, but I think if you are younger and if you are just a tad bit darker than me, these are going to be pretty good. Nice coverage. They go on great. They feel a little bit serum-y, a little bit sticky, but not in a bad way. Like, you're going to be able to pat them in. I would say that, if you don't have the oldest, creepiest skin in the world, that this is pretty solid. I can recommend this unless you've got a lot of crinkliness under here, and then probably not my favorite. So this is one that I'm glad I tried it, but it's going to go in the drawer when I'm done. So L'Oreal came out with new True Match ones, and I love L'Oreal and their True Match line. They have great stuff. I got C2, W1, and C1. Normally C2 is kind of my jam, and I would say that is that's the one I have used the most. They have a really nice, very flat doe foot applicator. It goes on really soft, really nice. This is a much thinner formula than the Revlon. Really good coverage, blends out really nicely. This formula is really creasy for me, which is really disappointing because otherwise it's a really nice formula. I do use it sometimes on the rest of my face because it is a nice liquidy formula with about medium coverage, and it is buildable. It's beautiful. It's great. I think if you're not ultra crepey like I am, it would be just fine and you'd really enjoy this. But I will show you towards the end of this how it sort of came out and what it left me with, and it's not acceptable for me. It just, no. Now let's move on to the NYX Pro Fix Sticks. So these come in all kinds of like color correcting colors and then a ton of different skin colors. So that's really nice. These are super creamy. I really love how they apply, and they're definitely buildable. They do, however, as far as I can tell, they don't really dry down. You're going to have to set it. And so for covering a zit like I am in this video, until you set it with powder, it wipes right back off. It's so creamy, it's very movable. Now that does make it so that I felt comfortable putting it here and here. In order to give myself a little bit of coverage, you have to use, well, you don't have to, but I would recommend that you use the warmth of your finger to pat it in so that you get a really good skin-like finish with this. I think these are great. Probably not my first choice just because I like something just a little bit thicker. The NARS creamy concealer that comes in a little pot, that's probably my absolute favorite one if I'm trying to cover up pimples. And I don't know for sure, but I have a slight suspicion that this might have caused the giant zit that I have. because it is ultra creamy, and I do wonder if there's something in there that's keeping it super, super emollient like that that also clogged my pores. I cannot prove that, but I have enough of a suspicion that I don't think I'm going to use this that much. We'll see. However, I do think that this is really nice. If you want that creamy stick concealer, these are really nice, and just every color you could possibly want or need. So I do recommend these, but it's not my first pick because I really like the NARS Pot Creamy one, just because it's a little bit drier than this, which means it stays where you put it a little bit more without having to cake a bunch of powder on. For under the eyes, it's a little bit probably too heavy for somebody with crinkly under eyes like me. Although it looks good when you first put it on, it's just more that you would be putting on to something that's already textured, and then when you have to powder it, you're going to see a little more crinkliness than is necessary. I will say when you first put it on though, it looks really, really good. So if you were curious about the new NYX, then that's what I think about that. Now, one that is not new, but that I absolutely love, and it's kind of new, are the Pokey Full Cover Concealers. I didn't get these for a while because I had heard that they were full coverage and sort of matte. And yes, they are. Although these are definitely full coverage, somehow they manage to also be really, really easy to blend, and they don't leave you too dry. If you overdo it, yes, I mean, you know, but what these remind me so much of is the Tarte Shape Tape, if it weren't so drying and so cracky towards the end. So what I love to use it as you will see here, is I will use it as just, you'll see little tiny dots. A little goes a long way. They make a wonderful, instead of a foundation, you know, or if you just need a little more coverage or a lot more coverage, these do a great job of blending out and just being absolutely gorgeous. Out of all of the new ones, these are the ones I would recommend picking up, even with dry, crinkly under eye skin. If you are judicious with this, and if you use the warmth of your finger, I will often use these not as my full bottom concealer, because I still like my Natasha Denona one. I will use this where in just the dark blue corner here and here as just a little bit extra at the very end when I've cleaned up any fallout. These do a great job of that like finishing touch. Just make sure and get them really well blended out and then set. So highly recommend these. These are fantastic. I have Fair Neutral and Fair Ivory. The very, very lightest one that I have is Fair Ivory, and it is white. So I actually mostly just use the Fair Neutral. That one works really, really well for me. So I highly recommend those. Now, of note, this also recently came out and is in this same line with the CoverGirl Simply Ageless Skin Perfector Essence. This is so disappointing. This is the weirdest thing I think I've bought in a while. So it's the Simply Ageless Triple Action Concealer. The concealer is actually quite nice. It's thin, it blends out really nice, it's nice and light. I love everything about it except for this freaking weird, what is even this? So I thought I had a defective one. The applicator is supposed to be a cooling wand. No, it picks up almost no product, and then it's hard. So when you put it on your eye, it's not good. Let me try. I'm gonna try a little bit here. So I was able to get a little bit there. As you can see, it's a really pretty, nice, very brightening, very light, very hydrating concealer. Doesn't offer a ton of coverage, but if you're just looking to brighten that area and you want a little bit of extra moisture there, it's fantastic. This applicator is ridiculous. Like, don't do this. No. I don't reach for it because the applicator makes me insane. I don't quite understand how they tested this, and you know, it's super frustrating that, so that's just a normal pull out of it. There's a tiny bit on the tip, and it's hard, and that's not, no. I don't understand. So buyer beware. Maybe if you have other applicators that you can use with it, it might be worth it because it is a nice, it's a really nice formula, but the applicator is ridiculous. So there, that's what I think about that. Okay, next from the drugstore, I haven't seen a whole lot of other blushes, but they did release this one a little while ago, the Revlon Gel Serum Blush. And I've heard a lot of hate for this, and I don't understand why, because this is one of my favorite blushes, actually. It is very thin and serum-like, and they actually have this cool mauve color, and I love that if you build it up, you can get a lot of pigment, or if you just use a brush like I am in the video, you can go from very natural to full coverage if you would like. And it's got just the slightest bit of dew to it. And I don't find that it disturbs the makeup too much. You know, some of them, it patches out and it really pulls up the makeup. Anything that is this wet is going to pull up some of the makeup that's below, or at the very least mix with it. And I find that this, instead of pulling it up, it more mixes with it. And so you're able to get a very natural blend line, you know, once you work it out on the sides. And I really appreciate that. And for me, I love, since I have very fair skin, that you can go super, super light with this, and that there is a true cool mauve color that is, I think, very flattering, very beautiful. This is actually one of my favorite liquid blushes. My other favorite that is really, really cool, it's not drugstore, but the iconic London one. This one is like a very dark mauve. I think online, I was a little worried when I ordered it. I thought it was going to maybe be brown, but no, it is like a really, really sort of muddy, pale purple almost, and this is great as almost contour underneath. Not drugstore, but my uber point is that these are probably my two favorite liquid blushes, so this new one's really, really good. All right, let's move on to the next one. So this is really unexpected. I wasn't even really looking for this, and I just kind of came across it. I absolutely love finding drugstore eyebrow products that will work for my hair tone. What I usually need is a warm blonde. The ash blondes don't, I mean, it just looks very dark and very gray on me, and it needs to be that warm blonde, and then it will really work for my hair color. So if you are like me and you have trouble finding anything like this at the store, because they usually go orange or yellow or just ashy and way too dark, I can't believe, but I just found this a couple days ago. This is the Build a Brow from Maybelline. It's a new one and extra, extra awesome for me. This is the first one that I found that is the right color for me. It is one of the little markers, and it really legitimately does a fantastic job of doing the little brow hairs, and it's not so dark. NYX has a bunch of, you know, blondes and auburns, and they're all too dark. It's a shame because I love their formula, but all of them make me look like Groucho Marx. It's just a no. So super excited to find a nice, light, natural looking, like it's not, a lot of them will also, they'll sort of sputter on you, and so you'll get like a blob, and all of a sudden you have like a big spot, not a nice, even light marker that you can really make something that looks like a brow hair. This one has a bonus. I was like, oh, why won't this come off on the back? I'm like, oh, it screws off. Why? Because it's got a really nice little brow gel attached to it. It's awesome. This particular one is really, really a nice, soft, flexible brow gel. It's not super stiff, but it does hold, and it really feels nice. It's not sticky. It is not crusty. A lot of people like the NYX one, and oh no, the brow glue one, no, 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 no. That one, it looks like somebody, how you used to put glue on your hand when you're bored in class, and then you'd peel it all off. Yeah, that was my brows. That's not cute. So This is one of the few that I found that is actually quite nice. This is like win-win, wasn't even looking for it, and great new one from the drugstore. Highly recommend this. Okay, now I could not find any kind of eyeshadow palettes that were new that I was super excited about. I really wanted to show you and try the new Moira, the single eyeshadows that are really shimmery, and they were supposed to arrive today. However, one of my neighbors must have gotten it because I got their stuff and I did not get it. So I can't try that for you, unfortunately. I can tell you, it being Moira, it's probably fantastic, but it'll just have to wait for another review. So in the meantime, I did, however, get at the beginning of sort of Christmas break, I did finally try the What's Up Beauty, like these two palettes. So good. You know, I've tried some independent brands before and it's kind of hit or miss. Some of them are fantastic and some of them are like, okay. These are fantastic. They are priced at like $40 to $45, I believe. I get them on Amazon and I use my Amazon points on my credit card, so that I actually got these for free to try. They're so good. These are definitely high end. They are worth paying the full like $45 for them. They are so, so good. I am going to do a full review of just these so I can do all the swatches and I can do some different looks, but since I needed eyeshadow, and this is literally, these two palettes together are what I have been wearing for the last like 5 weeks, pretty much every day, at least in some form. We'll just do the eye look from this, and so you can see me putting it on. I went real simple because I was kind of in a hurry, so I didn't do a super complex look, but I mean, that's kind of the beauty of these. The formula is so nice. The mattes are creamy and soft, highly, highly pigmented. You don't need much, and if you use especially the Monsoon one. This one came out before the Dragon's Eye one, but I wanted both of them. After I got the Dragon's Eye one, I was like, oh, I gotta get another one. This Monsoon one, for my skin tone, I use actually a lot because it's got these light, sort of neutral to cool colors that I use a ton. They're super, super wearable. You just barely have to tap into them and they spread over your eye. Not a lot of fallout. Fantastic. I absolutely love these. I really like using a brush with the mattes and not a ton of fallout, but I pretty much exclusively use my finger for all of these beautiful, beautiful shimmers here. There is not very much fallout considering how shimmery these are. I did not use any kind of fixative or anything like that. If you really want them to be like high beams, you can go ahead and use like a NYX glitter glue or something like that and just put it right where you want to intensify the shine, but you don't need to. Just so amazed by how soft and how just shiny, shiny pigmented they are. It takes almost no effort and they're absolutely stunning. I'll do a whole nother video with that, but you can at least see that's what I used for my eyeshadow today, not drugstore, but worth every penny. So gorgeous. So that's that. Okay, so now this is another very, very unexpected one. This is the Wet n Wild Breakup Proof Waterproof Retractable Gel Eyeliner. When I saw this online, I was not sure if it was a liquid eyeliner or if it was an actual gel, like soft, you know, screw up kind of like pencil. These are amazing. I really, really like this a lot. $2.99. So cheap on Amazon and just beautiful and so easy to use. It just glides on. You can see, I'm going to put a little bit more on. You really don't need a liquid eyeliner with this. It's so really nice deep black. So easy to use this to wing it out and give it a little more of, you know, like a nice point if you like. It's just great. I mean, for $2.99, it is a pleasure to put on your eyes. No tugging, gorgeous, and I'm sorry, but $2.99. So Wet n Wild killed it with that one. That is a great new find. Highly, highly recommend that. So a lot of people have been talking about the L'Oreal Panorama mascara, this new one, and I was like, well, people seem to like it, let's give it a try. And these are normally not my jam. Oh my gosh, this is This is good. This is my new favorite. I have been wearing this pretty much every day. This one is definitely, it's hard to remove, but it gives your lashes so much length and structure. When you put it on, you have to be careful. It does want to goop and stick the lashes together. So you just have to take your time with it, be a little careful with it. And honestly, I would say one very long and carefully done application of it is better than trying to go back and put a second application on top of it. That tends to get a little spiky and goopy. It doesn't like that. You kind of want to work with it while it's still wet because it dries down hard. It is hard to remove, so I don't like that part, but it has given me the longest, prettiest, like almost lash extension looking lashes. This one I definitely recommend. I haven't liked a lot of the popular L'Oreal ones in the past. This one I absolutely love. The only other one that I have liked this much from the drugstore recently is the Maybelline Falsies Surreal. This is also another good one that is actually pretty similar but does not give you as much length as this one. This one is like whew, on the length. It is long. I did try the black version of this. I don't know what the difference is. I couldn't figure it out, but this is new and this sucks. I don't know what to tell you except for it hurts when you put it on. The applicator is spiky and painful. This one is a little bit too, but at least it looks really good. This one hurts more. Like, why? And it won't build any length. It just sort of chunks up and sits there. I mean, maybe I need to try it again now that I've opened it up and let it sit for a little while, but I don't understand what this is when this is here and this is good. What's the difference? Like, it's not like one is waterproof and one is not. No. They're both like deep jet black. What is this? If anybody knows, let me know, because why? This sucks. So there. I've warned you adequately. Okay, let's move on. Finally, lips. So NYX has just been putting out a bunch of stuff recently. Honestly, there's been a ton of stuff from the drugstore in general. This is their Fat Oil Slick Click. The colors are not, for me, I'm always looking for like a cool, non-sort of fuchsia-y, offensive, non-orange color. That's what most of their colors are, but their two darkest colors are not bad. They have like sort of, it's almost a purpley brown with a little bit of sparkles in it, and then this is sort of a maroon color. So, and then I actually did get the clear one, but I don't like this one because it looks white on your lips instead of clear. No, it's not what I was going for. So I didn't like the liquid version of this, the fat lip oil, just lip oil. I didn't like the applicator. I didn't like how sticky it was. It made a goopy mess everywhere, and it sort of broke up, and I didn't really like it on my lips either. But I generally like the sort of semi-solid form that is a lot like the Tarte ones that are like this. The Tarte ones are still the best ones as far as how they feel on your lips. They're really, really nice. I just wish they had colors that were cooler and suited me more. So formula-wise, I was hoping that was what these were going to be. And no, I really don't like these very much. As soon as I'm done with this review, these are going in a drawer for reference, but I'm not going to wear these. They are not very moisturizing. They're a little on the sticky side. They just feel thick, and they sort of sit on top of your lips. They don't help with my very dry lips I have right now because it's winter. The colors are okay. I don't need these in my life, and I don't think you probably do either. I'm sorry. I love lots of NYX stuff. The fat oil stuff is just not for me. And I was actually pretty excited to try these. Don't waste your money. I really don't like the texture of these very much at all. These are definitely going in a drawer because I don't reach for these other than I've been testing them. They just don't feel very good, and then the colors are kind of So that's a big fat no from me. Now, these are not from the drugstore. However, they're well priced and they are lip oils. The biggest problem with these is an applicator. I like these better than the NYX because they do moisturize your lips, and it's a thinner formula. It's got a slight minty tingle, not in a bad way, not in like a burn your lips kind of way, just a little bit of pleasantness. And these do actually moisturize, and I really like this pink color because it's a great addition to pretty much any of my other colors I've been wearing lately. And the biggest problem with these is that the applicator, it really kind of pops out and you don't get as much on the applicator as you would like. You kind of want a big juicy scoop of it to put on your lips. So you got to go in and out several times and keep putting it on. That's really my only complaint. Both of these colors are really pretty. I actually do use these. I keep reaching for them, but especially this pinkish one, which as you can see, it's not that pink. It's almost clear, but it does give you just a little bit of pink. So I will use this on top of a lot of other stuff right now because my lips are super dry right now, even off of the Accutane. I think it's just that time of year. These are a good deal. They're on Amazon, and I actually would recommend these. These I do like. So that's it. Lots of new stuff. I have been sick for quite a while. I still, if you can probably hear it in my voice, I didn't want to wait any longer to share a lot of this stuff because some of it I want to put away and some of it is going in sort of on my desk that I use every day. And I know that especially with drugstore stuff, some of you are going to be like, I really want to try that, but I don't want to buy all that stuff. And I already did. So I did want to share before you guys ended up buying something that was maybe not that good, or I wanted to recommend ones that you might have missed. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. As always, I really appreciate you guys being here. Do me a favor, if you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and give me a like and subscribe, as that really helps my channel to grow, and I love talking with you guys and sharing all of the new stuff that I really get into when I'm geeking out about makeup. So, all right, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks again for joining me.